right, good morning, December 31st, 2024, morning road meeting. All right, we have any minutes, Ellen?
No minutes.
Okay. All right, Bear.
Okay. Not a lot going on, but the only calls we've had is a couple of requests for sanding, just normal. Nothing too major that I know of that really needed to be done. As far as the guys go, everybody left early Tuesday for Christmas Eve. Nobody was here Thursday, so we really didn't do much. And yesterday, most everybody was out plowing and sanding and checking our roads over. We got a little bit more plowing we're doing today around Basin Creek and Elkhorn. Both had about 5-6 inches of snow that we gotta get taken care of. And do some more vegetation cleanup. The Whitehall guys are down on Quaintness Lane, just cleaning up the last of the debris piles we had down there. Staying busy. They've been doing some webinar training to help fill some time as well through LTAP. As we were just discussing, we did get the okay from DNRC to do the repairs on Spring Creek there in Jeff City. They're going to run it as an emergency permit so we get that rectified before we have any issues this winter. We're going to go in and clean out the dead vegetation that's plugging up part of the creek. There's also quite a bit of sediment, probably 6 inches of sediment that's settled in the bottom of that creek. That's it's not very deep anymore, so we're going to clean that out and help reestablish the bank. Probably looking Monday or Tuesday next
Come
week.
off Corbin Road?
Huh?
The sediment come off Corbin Road?
No,
No, I'm just
no, Bob.
Yeah, I just got one more dig. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not disappointed. This is just years of sediment buildup that's washed down. It comes through the upper portion of that property, and then it makes a hard dog leg right there. So it's just a natural slow spot where everything settles. So,
Kind of looks like there's some debris down lower that's kind of blocking that
Yeah.
up too.
in
Some
that-
trees and some branches that are down.
Those trees, there's some low hanging dead branches and some willows down in there that have
And that
filling in the
trees there.
creek and slowed things up even more. So I think we've got a decent plan to get it rectified. Dave was fine with it. I think with the cold temps, it'll be solid enough for us to get a machine out there without sinking in, and hopefully, knock on wood, it goes pretty smooth. We get it done pretty quick and minimal impact. So yeah, we're looking probably Monday or Tuesday, just depending on who we have available to get that done, and making contact with the property owner. So there's a gate just above. Right in there, there's a gate right there, so we can get in and not have to track all the way across their property, and should be pretty easy, and they probably won't even know we were there when
They appreciate that.
Did you look at the rest of the creek? It's I don't know, there's a cut across right here, huh?
Yeah, right there's where it goes. I haven't walked it to see anything. I
This
do
seems
know.
like this has been the only problem with it in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah, so we get that. So right there where you were just pointing in those trees, there was no debris in that portion of property. Everything's from that bigger bunch of trees up.
In where the dog.
That's
leg
where
is
the
there.
major problem's at. I think once we get that cleared out, it'll push just fine.
Last year when that froze up, it came kind of by where that shed's at.
Mhm.
And
Goes
it
down.
blocked up above and it came where that shed was at.
Yeah.
And that's why I was running past our culverts down lower to that last unit on Jefferson.
So we do have on the other side of that culvert there on Jefferson Street, there's some debris down in the fence. We'll get cleaned out while we're up there, while we got the machine, but
Down in here.
yeah.
Good.
Should rectify that problem.
That piece of Lucy Coyle thing again.
Speed signs. They could use some speed signs.
Where?
Jefferson City.
They have speed signs.
15 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what they would like, but they're not gonna get them. It's not a school zone.
Too much fun.
You're gonna miss this.
It's the same thing that goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did reschedule this week's safety meeting to next week, just with the holiday. We're gonna have quite a few guys off again Thursday unless we get snow. Everybody's aware that if it's snowing, we're gonna be calling them in, but And then on the bottom there, you see some pricing that we talked about on those road guards, the different options they were gonna provide us. Instead of just buying them outright at the $3,000, we have the option of doing kind of a payment plan. The cheapest one there, that 95 a month, that also includes the service during the time that we are paying for the unit. The monthly cell service we have to pay for them. That one is a pretty good price. I'd like to get 2 more units. That will let me pay like the annual payment one time a year instead of doing a monthly payment. So that we pay the 1,200 or 1,100, whatever it is, per unit one time a year for 3 years. Because we'd like to get at least one to put into Dylan's truck, and I'd like to get a third one down in the Whitehall area in their truck, just so we're out on these roads more frequently, so we can have better data. I think $2,000 a year is not something we can't handle, especially with the data we're getting back. And once springtime hits and we're actually blading the roads and we're seeing the differences and the changes, it's gonna look a lot better. Right now, it's pretty repetitive data, but it is, I think it's gonna be very beneficial to us in the long run. Especially when we start finding some grants we can apply for and say, look at what we have.
So right now you just drive, like when it's grading season, one of you guys drive around and then you report back, hey, Warm Springs needs graded from here to here.
Be all year, I suppose.
Yeah, because it just automatically, it's on whenever we drive.
Well, I mean, before this device, I mean, right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
prior, we'd
yeah.
have to go out and inspect our roads.
Right.
So I mean, there's manpower and equipment time that we're not doing other
Yes,
projects.
yeah.
What I really like about it is that, if I'm out there and I'm not sure it needs to be done or not, it's like there, it's like on the verge of maybe needing it or not. And it's just like, well, I don't have time to go look at it, so I don't want you to leave and come back if I deem it needs to be done.
Right.
At least we can set a standard and drive it and be like, oh yeah, it needs to be done.
That's where it's really gonna benefit us in the long run is, it's gonna give us that data that, hey, we just drove this 2 weeks ago, it's in the yellow, the whole thing needs to be graded. Or, hey, only the first 200 feet of this road is bad, the rest of it's in good condition, just do the first 200, and then we're only doing a couple hours of grading instead of 2 days of grading.
Right.
And it's gonna save us a lot of time in the long run it's those coin flip roads that we've just done them just because we were there. But that road would have held together for the rest of the season if we wouldn't have broken open, and then it dries out like it did the last couple of summers and then washboards, and we have problems with it. So
Yeah.
it's gonna save a lot of headaches and a lot of wasted time on roads. They're
I
gonna
guess
pay
it
for
gives
themselves.
you some kind of a specification to go by, where right now you drive up there and it kind of looks like it may be graded, but now you can get the data to say, yeah, it doesn't need it or doesn't need it.
Yeah, and as we get more data collected and we're looking at these and fine tuning these maps, they can just pull it up at the office or on the tablet and say, this one's at this standard, it's time to grade it, or this one's this far away, we're okay to skip it, instead of having to drive out there. We can look in the office and plan out the next week for grading based off of what it's showing us.
What also is nice is if you see an area that's continually having problems, you can go back and be like, oh, year after year, time after time, this section of road's failing. So if we're gonna be putting money into this road, we could be putting it here, just the worst
And
place that needs the most work.
we have a really good idea of
I know
our
where
bad
those are
spots
without even
are.
having to have the machine.
Yeah, we know where a lot of the bad spots are, but having the data behind it, it's gonna
Yeah.
help us justify why we're spending money on certain roads that maybe other residents don't agree that need it.
I shouldn't say this, but it's an insignificant amount of money, $100 a month for
Yeah, I mean, realistically, for what we're getting out of it, I mean, $3,000 for a unit, it's, yeah, we have to pay, once we pay off the unit, it's $35 a month per unit for the service, so there's a recurring cost. But we all know that grants are going data driven anymore, so this gives us more data to back up what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. It gives us better tools for responding to residents when they say the entire road's garbage, and I could say, no, it's only 200 feet that's bad, or half a mile that's bad. But the biggest thing for us is they'll pay for themselves in a couple of years of us not wasting time grading roads that shouldn't have been graded.
Yep.
Or prioritizing roads that need to be done before we go You know, if a road's in the red, but we're too busy over here grading roads that we're not even sure we should be doing, we're getting to the roads that need it before the ones that we're just killing time on. The reason for multiple units is just to have more current data, you know, because right now I'd have to be out driving all of our roads every 1 or 2 weeks to be able to have current data.
Right.
So if we have a couple more units out there, that just means we're hitting more of our roads more often, so we're getting more data, more up-to-date current data. And we're still gonna have to look and say like, hey, this road we really don't hit very often, we haven't been on it for a month, let's get somebody out there and they'll drive it, but it's just for more accurate information and more efficiency is what we're really striving for to help reduce our costs so we can have a little bit more money.
So the cost that you have here, is it my understanding that's for one single unit, is that right?
This is per unit,
Yeah, per
but I'd
unit,
like to
okay.
get 2 units.
You get any discount, if you get another unit per chance,
This is kind of,
or is this pretty much what's?
yeah, because they're normally, if you buy them, you're paying that service, they're kind of throwing the service fee in with the payment. It's like, you know, if you just pay that $3,000 up front, then you gotta pay your, whatever it comes out to be, $600 for your services. So then essentially you're about breaking even, but it makes it easier on us not having spent $6 grand right now versus spending $2 grand, unless we break up that cost over 3 years. Especially where it wasn't really in the budget specifically, but it is just in our tool budget. I know that technically I don't need approval because of the amount, but I just wanted to get feedback and opinions just so that we're all on the same page as why we're looking at going this route and getting these units.
Are you getting a kickback from the company for selling them to other counties too?
No,
No.
but they're wanting to take care of us to just help with that word of mouth. You know, they are wanting to take care of us as a county. I get an email from them almost every other day with updates or comments, concerns, questions, feedback.
Are there any other counties using them right now?
So Park County right now is the only other one. Like I said, that we bought the 3rd unit in the United States, so
Okay.
there's not a lot. They're coming out to Mackers to get in front of the other counties in Montana, though. They're gonna do a presentation out there as well. They've reached out to a lot of the other counties, and I think you're gonna see a lot of them, at least the counties that have a little bit of resources and guys with the mindset of trying new things to figure out better ways to do it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of road supervisors out there that are of the mindset that, well, we've always done it this way, we're gonna keep doing it this way, that they won't even be interested, but you're starting to see a lot more younger, proactive road supervisors. So I think this is gonna be something you're gonna see in a lot of counties very soon.
On this pricing, just about anybody can afford it.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Takes the guess out of there too, kind of gives the people with less experience don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This kind of takes your manpower out of it. That way someone behind a computer can make the calls and the decisions.
It's just more informed usage of our resources is what it provides. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more counties using it. And, you know, if you look at what they have into it, the amount of sensors, the GPS antennas, the cellular antennas, the product, just the hardware, you know, they're not overcharging for this product. It's the very top of the line unit. It works fantastic as far as the data, the service and the data and the durability of it. It's been fantastic.
It runs over cellular, huh?
Yeah.
And communicates, that's pretty good. That's a good price then.
Yeah, bobblehead on your dash tells you most of this.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly.
But, you know,
Yeah, but you get newer trucks like ours, they ride pretty nice even on bad roads.
Yeah,
Speaking of Mackers, are you able to put something together, like you say, you might have a open mic or something about the speed limit issues that other counties are having?
So we're doing that road supervisor, roundtable again,
Okay.
I guess it had a lot of good, the one that you sat in on, there's a lot of positive feedback. It was requested that we do that one again, and so we'll
Okay.
bring that up in that topic. I have sent out an email, but with the holidays, I haven't really seen much response from anybody that's doing anything. But it's hard to get them guys to read it. A lot of them guys don't read emails.
Do you think there'd be something we could do, you know, speed bumps and speed humps and all that physical type stuff you don't see on county roads ever, you see them in cities and towns, but You know, I don't know if anybody's tested anything. It'd be nice to get in specific areas to get something physical there to help slow people down.
Yeah, and I,
Can't leave them in the winter time though, that's the problem,
Right.
you know, you can't
Yeah.
plow snow and you can't grade roads and, you know, it's just a
yeah,
problem.
Washboards maybe, that's.
I
The
don't know.
washboard might be a, might
I
be a
don't know about
solution.
that. I've seen people doing 60 across the Whitetail, so I don't know
That's
about
true.
that. So,
How's the Corbin Road looking? You watered it up till it froze good, huh?
Definitely, we got a little bit of snow on it yesterday, so
Did you, a little bit of snow?
I didn't plow it. I wanted the snowpack to stay there, so there was
Grind
plowable
in,
snow.
grind it
I
in.
didn't plow it. I wanted to,
Let it
Get
sit
it drove
there a
in,
little
yeah.
bit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can penetrate that hard
Yeah.
surface with that.
well, I'd get rid of moisture off of it when we were just
Right.
up there.
Put a
Moisture
little
on
bit
it.
of snowpack on it, it'll help cover everything for a while. Make it a little smoother.
I haven't been up there lately. I gotta drive it again one of these days.
No, how to
I'll
build
be
a
up
road,
there
boy,
today.
that builds a road, boy.
Send me your road guard report after you drive it.
Yeah. So, and I just drove it the other day and it didn't show up on our top 10 list, but
Really?
the top 10, I drove Elkhorn yesterday and it's got a lot of bad spots on it. The Whitetail has some bad spots. Cedar Hills is on this list, but that
Oh,
was
Cedar
from
Hills.
before
It'll forever be on your list.
it will be, but this was before we graded it earlier this month, so it's in better shape now.
Too much soft dirt.
Yeah, Travis Creek had a bad spot on it. Other than that, it was all Elkhorn and Whitetail.
Do you have the Elkhorn report there?
You know, this is the top 10.
Oh, okay. Top 10, wow.
Yeah,
Elkhorn Road's number one.
yeah.
Your top 10.
Part of that might have been going sideways around a couple corners. But
Easy to do on Elkhorn. Boy, that thing gets beat up.
it was slick and it
Oh,
was
was it?
snowy yesterday. There was about 6 inches up in town yesterday.
Hmm.
And it had melted and froze from the day before, so
Right.
underneath that snowpack was a fair amount of ice.
Elkhorn Road's 4 and 5. 1, 1, 4, 5. Whitetail 6, Travis Creek 7, Cedar Hills 8,
Yeah.
Elkhorn's 9 again, and Wapiti Lane is 10. Where's Wapiti Lane?
Forest Park.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought that was down
There
in
is.
Whitehall.
There's one in Whitehall.
Well, there is one in
So
Whitehall
it's
too.
Ellen-
Yeah.
Ellen Creek.
Which one?
Yeah.
I think I'd have to see which one.
It's
that
private
is.
drive.
By McClellan Creek.
McClellan Creek, yeah. Actually, I think that is. So that's not, it says Wapiti Lane, but that's actually on McClellan Creek. That's right at the end of the asphalt where it goes to gravel.
Oh.
It just says Wapiti Lane. It's the road right next to us.
Gotcha.
the top of the hill there.
Yeah, right there is, you come around that last corner onto the gravel, hit a couple potholes.
So Mayor, when are you thinking about implementing this? Want to get 2 more? What are your thoughts?
I can send them an email today and tell them.
Oh, you
to
can
send
do it now. is what you're saying.
Yeah, it takes them a couple weeks to get them put together and then shipped over. Probably be the middle of the month, and it takes the guys half a day or so to put them into the trucks.
Did you get the cattle guards from, was it the Forest Service you were getting?
The state, FAT.
Oh, MDTs.
Starting to look like a sheriff's deputy's car.
All the gadgets hanging on of it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Careful
it's
getting
pretty
in.
bad. We ended up getting 3.5 truckloads. And there was 8, so we got like 20 something cattle guard sections. Now, some of them are not usable.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty tore up, but I was like, if they don't want to haul them to scrap, I'll sure take them to scrap and take the
Yeah.
money for it. Then we got, I think it was 6 sections of cattle guard bases, the concrete bases. If we find somewhere that we really want that to use, we can get more if we need them. They have more down there, but we just didn't have enough time. And then some A-frames that a cattle guard A-frame in, so got a stack of those, so we're pretty well set up on cattle guard.
Even if you don't want to use the bases for cattle guards, they work pretty good for creek retentions or holding back sediment on roads or banking, shoring stuff.
We've got to get with the Whitehall MDT section and set up a day to go pick up a bunch of Jersey barriers, concrete Jersey barriers. They're gonna give us. And then there's some more down, I believe, in Berbice that we can go get.
the state's giving Jersey barriers away.
They're old ones, some of them are in pretty bad shape, the other ones are decent, but for what we use them for. Mostly in the yard or bank retention or something, they work just fine.
Have you got any farther on, what is that road, Hartford?
Alfred, so I
Alfred.
sent an email to the engineers last week and I have not heard much back with all day.
Oh, okay, from Great West.
Very west.
We're gonna have a look at that and see.
Yeah, we're gonna have them kind of give us an opinion on what the best direction to go is, if there's some repairs we can do, or if we need to just pull it out, and if at that point, we'll probably send it out for bid. But
Gotcha.
the full replacement,
How big of a culvert is that?
7 foot, 6 foot.
7.
And it's collapsing.
I think Griffin's mother lives on Halford, doesn't she?
Who's
It's
that?
an arch pipe too.
Eric Griffin's mother,
I
doesn't
believe
she live
so.
on
Yeah,
Halford?
I think so.
Yeah. So you'll be watching her.
Yeah, so it's a very big flow pipe.
Why is it so big?
It drains that whole, everything comes from Lump Gulch, Travis Creek, Corral Gulch, it's Park Lake, Everfield. There's gotta be prepared for a lot of water in that.
But I've never seen anything
Never has.
approaching that size go through this.
It's one of them, but if something let loose, that would be a lot of water coming in.
Oh,
that
yeah.
They just did Sheep Mountain one down here.
Yeah.
Should have had them do that one at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that was BLM that did that one.
Should turn Halford into an RMD and let them put it, do an RSID to improve the road and bridge.
Put a bridge in there, yeah. Good, good.
Really, a box culvert might not be a bad idea there. I just don't know what the cost difference would be, so. That's why we're gonna get the engineers involved and figure out a plan. I just think it'll be after the new year before we hear back.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of bridges, anything new on Stony Brook? They
I haven't heard anything on
haven't
Stony
been
Brook.
screaming at you anymore.
I think once we told them it was their problem, they kind of left us alone.
I haven't heard or seen anybody
No,
as far as an
no.
update.
You think there'd be some money available for places like that?
It's- Where it's a private business, I don't know if they'd have available.
Even the public one, the Sleepy Hollow one, that can't find.
It's
funding for that
unaffordable
one either.
Yeah, it's unaffordable to fix it.
No, it's not. Anything else, guys?
They're been pretty quiet with the holiday and the weather hasn't been very bad, so.
Little bit cooler this morning.
At 18,
Oh, down here, did you? I had about 28 of them.
Usually is. Down here, cooler.
Good deal.
and again, just depending on weather, I'm sure we got guys leaving early today. I know there's at least 3 or 4 taking Thursday off. But they all know if it's snow, we'll be calling them out.
Churches are,
Fortunately, we didn't have school this week, so we weren't in a big rush yesterday. Haven't had any complaints, knock on wood.
Good deal.
Well, Bob, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure I'll see you around.
indeed, I've enjoyed it very much, Bear.
Make sure you put a big berm in front of his driveway just to remind him.
Now he's gonna start.
I know where you live.
He's gonna start and say, well, now you're not fixing the road.
Yeah. Everybody on Bob's Road will be calling, how come you quit fixing the road?
Well, it's gonna get worse, cause then everybody's gonna think it's cause Bob's not a commissioner anymore. and
Exactly.
Doesn't get special treatment.
Well, I don't think they figured they got that.
I don't think so either.
No. We let it go. It's probably gonna get better now, cause it won't look like.
They
it.
all
Don't
complain.
do anything in front of Bob's house.
Yeah.
They know who to get in touch with, my neighbors.
Yeah.
They don't bother me.
No. Yeah, and then I'd still like to set up a day after we get out of this new year and everything to go up there to Gruber and Vigilante in that area and look at that narrow road stuff, so.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just
Figure it out.
remind me and we'll,
Yeah,
if you want 1 or 2 or 3 of us to go, or just whatever you want.
well, it would be nice to set up another tour in the winter months and
Mm-hmm.
so we can go. I'd like to do a winter and a summer, so you see both the differences and issues. Even if we break it up into 3 different sections of the county or however you guys want to do it, but
Yeah,
once Craig gets on set something up. I know he knows the roads, but looking at them from a commissioner standpoint, it's gonna be different than a sheriff's standpoint.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Craig's probably pretty good up on this end, but not the south end, so.
Well, thanks,
All right.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks,
happy
guys,
New Year.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
New Year.
See you guys later.